This is a decently high yellow game, probably about 5k average here. So we've got me as Snapfire on dire sides. We've got Ricky, Kunkka, Snap, Lich, and Void. The lanes are Ricky and Lich in the top lane, Kunkka in the mid, and Void Spirit, Snapfire on the bottom. And on the opposing team, we've got Huskar mid. He was 10th pick mid. We've got Bane and Slark, safe lane. And we have Necro and Nyx in the top lane. Now, just a bit of a note about pick order. So I'm playing soft support. This was a first pick Snapfire, and immediately after, the Nyx was picked, I'm assuming as a counter. We'll see in the game here how I play around the fact that it's a counter, and how you can make team fights work out regardless. This just has to be with being patient with your ulti there. So speed this up a bit.
Chosen assassin of the greatest goddess Nyx, I can promise you.
We'll chat a little bit about items. So fairly standard items to start with here.
This one's
we
in
have
the
headdress.
It's in the bag.
The path of this
And this is a very good
was decided
starting item because it provides some regen for both you and your offlaner. Snapfire is quite good at trading because the auto attack range is quite long, and as well, it builds up into a mech and later on Greaves. So it's quite a good build option. You have 3 tangos. Sometimes you may give one to mid, so you'll start with 2 tangos, but having the Ironwood branch effectively doubles one of the tangos. Now let's talk a little bit about this pre-lane aggression. Okay, so in terms of this matchup here, so Bane and Slark, what they're going to be looking to do is sort of wear away at us until we're about half to quarter health, and then do a hard engage. So whether that's a setup with Leash or a setup with Nightmare into Leash. Okay. So in this case here, with the Snapfire Void Spirit combo, we're leaning on the side of some slow harass as well. We've got definitely better burst than them, and we've got some more crowd control than them, but that's highly dependent on whether or not Slark can read the crowd control and use his Dark Pact in time here, so this spell. Now, for the level 1 fight, it's usually one of the most important things I say climbing MMR, because it sort of sets the pace for your lane. You need to know the limits of your heroes or matchups, and whether or not you're able to trade or take an all-in fight against the enemy, okay? So we see that Slark started 2 sets of tangos, healing salve, QB, and some branches, a very typical start. And meanwhile, Bane here has started also quite a typical start, so healthy mix of regen for both health and mana. And interestingly enough here, he's actually taken Nightmare at level 1. We obviously don't know that yet because he doesn't actually cast any spells, but I suspect it after we do a bit of trading and he doesn't use Brain Sap. As a Bane main myself, I would recommend most mains take Brain Sap at level 1 because it's your bread and butter for level 1 trading. Okay, most heroes, such as Snapfire, you trade mana for damage, right? In Bane's case, you can trade mana for damage and a heal. So that's why it's a very value skill to have. Now, in terms of trading here, okay, we've noticed that he doesn't have an Orb of Venom, so it actually makes it very hard for him to finish a kill here. And as well, I know that my Void Spirit has Resonant Pulse, and we've got quite a bit of burst from Scatter Blast. I think that normally it's quite even, and right now I've only taken a little bit damage. We've sort of gotten the jump on them, so if we were to continue this fight, I'd be confident in saying that we would win. We just need to target the Slark here. So we'll see the rest of this fight play out here. And as you can see, I'm focusing all my shots onto the Slark only. Okay, this is to dissuade him from trying to build up more stacks here. Okay. Here I consider eating a tango as well, but decide against it because I'm still on the outside here. And here we almost get first blood, but he is faster. Now, the reason why I sort of committed hard is because he doesn't have the Orb of Venom. If he did, I probably would have died there, but I probably wouldn't have gone in the first place. This is kind of a small mistake here. Void should have just gone straight for the thing there, but it's okay. He ends up missing a couple creeps in the wave here. It's not a big deal, but it can affect the level 2 all-in, should we choose to do that. Okay, so I used Scatter Blast to cancel the clarity there. Of course, we know that he's fighting Nightmare level 1, so you see me playing extremely aggressively, because we will regen. Anytime you aggro the creeps here, it's a mix of a good and a bad thing. Okay, the bad thing is that your lane may push up, but the good thing is, when you have a headdress, you can effectively ignore the melee creep aggro in a way. You gain it back really quick. Okay. So here, it seems that they avoided this. I've just done a pretty standard pull here, so contesting this area that doesn't give them free farm. Unfortunately, I did not secure the big centaur, which is pretty big for the Slark there. And now we have a wave pushing them in there. But this is giving my Void Spirit some final space, and it's quite hard for the Slark to last hit under the tower for these ones here. As you can see, he's missing a few there, right? He just doesn't have enough damage yet. So in this sort of case, it is good to push the wave into the tower. He's got low base attack, okay? No, something like this here. So I know the Bane really, he can't really trade much with me. I strongly believe that Snapfire is a natural counter to Bane in lane. Bane just can't really keep up with the sort of harass that Snapfire deals. So you'll see me just trying to use Fog of War and weave in as many autos as I can. I don't especially stop the pull, but I do make sure I secure the ranged creep. The reason being that him pulling the creep wave under is actually just making it harder for this guy to farm. You see, look how many last hits he's missed, right? It's not really until level 4, level 5, or when he starts buying some stat items that it becomes really blurry. Now here, there's a, I guess, a small misplay there. Probably could have combined Cookie and Scatter Blast, could have bursted the Slark. He has a magic wand now.
Now this
He's
is
got
a
boots on him, and I've got stick here. So as you can see, we're playing fairly aggressively because we know that Bane is just doing pulls. Now, as a position 5 main here as well, I typically don't like doing these single stack pulls. It's just not very good because at the end of the day, the wave ends up stacking, and then the enemies can freeze it here and try to deny the camp here. It just puts you in a bad spot. I would really only pull the safe lane camp if your carry absolutely cannot farm, or if you've already stacked it once and you can deny the entire wave to it. Okay? So in this case, both of us, he does a full pull into there, which really does nothing. The entire wave comes back in a stack, but I have denied about half of our wave into this camp here, and so Slark isn't getting that. And now you see the wave is doubled up, and it's going to be pushing towards us. At the same time, Slark doesn't actually have a full camp to farm here, so it's very tricky for him. You'll see him just sort of stand around here, and we decide to play aggro here. You see, he's completely zoned out. This is because of the single pull, the lane is pushed up. So it looks like he's trying to finish his treads here, and meanwhile I'm just playing extremely aggro and zoning him out of this farm. Here's a sort of a small attempt at a dive here. I didn't really intend for us to get a kill, I just wanted to harass him some. But unfortunately, because Bane had not taken a lot of EXP from the lane, the Slark is level 6. Okay, so here, because he's got level 6 and he has a higher impact on the lane, he's able to win this sort of trade here. That's not to say he still doesn't have Orb of Venom, so I feel pretty confident just walking up and autoing him like this. Bane's continuing to do small pulls, I guess here. Yeah, so that would have actually been a prime time stack and then deny the next wave. But he chose not to do that. So in terms of our top lane's losing. I'm not going to talk too much about the top lane, but just more about the lane stage.
Middle tower is under pressure.
So now here, look, none of us are level 6, so this is actually quite a tough one. So I try to survive here, but I don't have enough for anything to stun. Yeah, Void is only level 4, and you do get ganked by the Husbar. So we were originally, I reckon, even, and Slark was actually deprived on farm. He was slightly ahead for EXP. But after that double death, I would say the lane's about even right now. I still think that we have superior engage on him, and eventually I do believe we win this lane here. But we start diverting resources to top because they've called for help, and we just want to make sure we secure our safe lane. So do a gank on there. Meanwhile, Void Spirit is trying to get level 6. Level 6 is huge for him because it gives us a lot of kill potential for him as someone engaging. So meanwhile, up top here, we're still trying to secure some farm.
Dire's middle tower is drowning.
I secure the root, and here I notice this guy.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I just jump up with the cliff so that he can't really follow.
My path leads to riches.
He's still following me, and I suspected he was. I didn't have vision, so I went to the tower and decided to go back. I did ping Ricky to be careful,
Bottom tower
but
is
I think eventually he does
like
get
a drunk sailor.
So here we've got a deep dive between the tier 1 and tier 2. In a sense, we're trying to make space for Ricky here, but it sort of half pans out. We force a rotation from mid, and here I've come back top to sort of babysit. Unfortunately though here, it's just a huge dive, I believe is coming out. So they realize they have superior dive to us, and they have a wave coming in, so I believe on the next wave here, I end up dying. So there's that there, and then I don't see this. I try to jump out of the way, but I went in the line. We get a late TP for the Void Spirit, but we do end up securing a kill back, so not the worst. Meanwhile, bottom, no one's really farming it. Slark is probably should head over there. And now here, let's talk about my build options. So because lane didn't go super well for us, I opted to go for a bracer after boots here, just to give myself a bit more survivability. Otherwise, I anticipated it would take me a long time to save 900 gold. Here we have a small skirmish at mid here. There's a pause. We try to finish him, but right now he's just got a little bit too much regen, and with the double bracer, it prevents us from getting the kill on him. Just move this forward a little bit. Yeah, so he gets gripped here. So that was actually a mistake. Let's talk about that. So I didn't really have to jump up there and sort of risk myself. I could have simply used this creep here, and because it was already attacking him, it would have been fine. It also would have decreased the amount of time that he was stunned up. Unfortunately, because he's out of mana, he can't get out. We end up doing a 1-for-1, but there is a shutdown of the bounty. So probably not worth. Now I'm not gonna do too much more commentary now. I just wanted to focus more on the lane stage. As you can see, bottom lane hasn't actually been taken by anybody, and this is a big mistake. I think that when he spawns, though, Void Spirit spawns, he will go down and secure some of that farm. Okay. So the Slark is back bottom here. I am trying to farm a bit of jungle, so I'm trying to just play safe until I get my arcanes. So I do purchase a clarity here. I anticipate I'll be jungling quite a bit. I tried to do a double stack here, but my timings were a bit off, so I didn't end up getting a single one here. More skirmishes mid. Let's talk a bit about the reason as to why that is. So right now, top lane, Necro's holding it well. Okay, and by far the next most important lane would be the mid lane, okay, because the mid lane, once you lose control of your mid lane, so let's say that I'm Radiant, I lose control of mid lane, then I automatically lose control of these camps here, unless I have this warded out. Also, in terms of rotations, people have to walk a whole lot longer, so it frees up more of the map for the dire team. Now, similarly for us, we will lose control of a lot of our upper jungle if we lose this mid tower. We already know that top tower is going down soon and bottom tower is fine. At the end of the day, Dire would much prefer the bottom tier 1 safe lane, offlane tower to go down rather than any of the other two offlanes. The main reason for that is even if this goes down here, these camps are still quite dangerous for Radiant to actually take because they're quite close to towers and because the high ground is wardable, okay? Whereas losing this tower opens up this jungle, losing this tower opens this jungle here. So it's just a bit more harass here. I hover mid just to show myself, and I go top because we're winning the fight here. So now, this was actually quite a good play here. We managed to kill the Necro before he could channel Reaper Skype, kill Ricky. Unfortunately, he dies to a rotation from mid, but this has opened up bottom for us to farm. Here, I'm confident of walking out because Slark doesn't have OOV. Unfortunately, they do bring 2 to a tier 2 dive here. This is actually quite a good thing. And the reason for this is because it draws a lot of aggro, they come and dive me. Huskar ends up in his life. Let's change. So here at this part of the game it's still even, but now we start taking some nice fights after this one here. And our team fight is just generally much stronger. They have a lot of single target damage, but we've got a lot of team fight with the Lich ult and with the Snapfire ult. So in regards to what I was saying earlier about the Nyx counter, generally speaking you just want to wait till he's spiked Carapace, and then you want to throw everything in. It's honestly just this one spell that's actually a hard counter to you. Sometimes though, if you know that a couple blobs will secure it, you cast it anyways, and you trigger the stun. So you just have to decide whether or not it's worth it. Now as for us, because we did lose the safe lane tower, our next objective here would be looking to take the mid tower or the bottom tower here. I'm keeping this pushed out and I'm farming. I just finished purchasing my arcanes, so we've got a bit more sustain. Should we take a team fight, we can take more extended fights. Signal to my team that we need to start pushing bottom, so we take a smoke. They have to actually push it very hard without having everyone with them. And as a result of this, win the fight, force the buyback from Necro. And they win one back. On our re-engage here, we do end up killing the Slark. And I believe we win this tower as well. Actually no, we just back. Got a little fight over mid here with the sentries. And now the attention gets switched to bottom as our the Slark ganks the Riki, and immediately our supports start heading over. We sort of think that our Lich is dead, but he manages to actually make some good space that allows our Riki to get out. Yeah, so this was good because I was channeling ult. The Necro was forced to waste his ultimate just to interrupt me. And because of that, we've taken down the Necro, removes the dieback from him. And we are poised to take this bottom tower now. And we have quite good map control as well. Finished the kill there, we've taken the tower here, and our next objective is the mid lane tower. I grab more wards, and as I'm picking out the sentry, I do this here to clear the trees, to prevent any safe TPs. And now, interesting play here. So he has used his spiked carapace to try to initiate a stun, avoid spirit, but ends up getting zoned out and needs to preemptively use Vendetta. Now, I've stunned him here. We don't actually have vision, so it was a pure accident. But now, it's very hard for him to go in anyway. So, it's a perfect dodge by the Void Spirit here. They have a buyback from the Bane. And I'm sitting pretty here. I just mech'd. And we're looking to burst this Huskar down. It's affected by Spirit Vessel. I get two of them there, and start zoning them out. I thought you'd face that with the cookie jump, but now this buyback by Bane ends up being a feed, I believe, as our team re-engages him. Meanwhile, our Kunkka has farmed up. And I do believe we win this kill on these guys. We almost get the Slark, but managed to get it well. So we finish the tier 2 and decide to force buybacks. Actually, we know that there's 60 buybacks that aren't present, so we know we can freely take this tier 3. Now here it gets a little bit dicey because they do a re-engage. We actually have an impeccable sort of disengage here from our Lich. Even picking up a kill at the end before we split, secure bounties. No, there was an issue I made here, so I wasn't busy, but I didn't take this opportunity to ward their jungle here. And here I misclicked and warded the low ground. So next in the itemization here is Greaves, because we're doing well. If we weren't doing well, Slark was getting kind of fed, then a 4 staff would be good to help people escape the pounds. Our Riki unfortunately gets ganked here, so we decide to establish vision in upper jungle. This vision here, they try to clean it out, and it doesn't work out for the Bane. I think they're trying to bring more. And we'll go just for the next objective here. So yeah, we noticed through this ward here, Huskar has come to farm our jungle, so we're able to successfully gank him. We don't see the DD, but we go top again, and we're able to net ourselves another kill. So at this point, we're quite far ahead, mainly because we're making some good plays together, grouping and smoking together, but the enemy team is sort of splitting up and trying to secure their own farm. We secure the Rosh. Remember to get the Rosh timer, so you can just alt left click the time and then add 8 minutes, so it will spawn within 8 to 11 minutes of when Roshan dies. The Aegis lasts 5 minutes. So here we take this. Now we see that Slark is trying to split, and we save the glyph for when they glyph, so we preserve our creeps. Now here's pretty much the final team fight. The huge silence pretty much kills the Necro. Now Lich gets gripped, and I'm able to just get free ultimate off here. Kunkka comes back alive, and we've lost Huskar again. So our Kunkka is absolutely huge. There's not much the enemy can do. Just look to take another fight. So over here, guys, and I believe they get caught out a couple more times. So really, Greaves is low-key the reason why we're able to stay in these fights so long. They enabled us to sustain the fights. So here I believe we lose a couple. We lose Ricky. And they use another buyback. But we end up losing our 2 core. So at this point I call back. And I tell everyone to get out if you can. So Void Spirit does end up getting out, which is nice. And we just look to go bottom now. So we farm a little bit, I acquire vision, and we end up catching Slark. BKBT gets out, and then we kill the next who tries to save him. At this point, game is pretty much won. They don't really have an answer to our team fight right now, unless they're able to kill the backline when the fight starts. They have no answer for Kunkka. And here we take the last tower. I slow down attack speed with Shredder. And here it's hard. We have to sacrifice this guy here because I couldn't reach him. I used Cookie already. And here I did get stunned up, but I dealt out enough damage here. Here we're looking at this guy here. So we just chain stun him. And he's dead. So all in all, the reason how we won the game was pretty much we had superior vision. We grouped and smoked better. In addition to that, they didn't really have any reliable engage. They could only fight fights that we chose to engage on. We had to rely on Nyx when we engage. Huskar jumping in doesn't really count because it's really short range. We had Nyx, we had Void Spirit jump in, so we were able to pick the fights that we wanted. So we ended up winning this game. Nice 35-minute game, and almost a stomp.